The safest place to be right now is New Zealand, apparently. There's all these jokes going on. In the meantime, let's talk about the situation in Pakistan. I don't know what happened with the Pakistanis attacking the Afghanis. I'm not sure what happened with that. That story kind of died, but maybe we better come back to that. But nothing might be happening with it because, according to the what website is this? The Express Tribune. So this is a paper out of Pakistan, I believe. The headline reads, petrol pumps may shut within days as dealers warn of supply cuts. PPDA warns petrol pumps may shut as diesel supply falls to 20%, petrol by 50% due to hoarding and sharp price increases. It's dated today. Lahore. Leaders of the Pakistan Petroleum Dealers Association sounded the alarm on Thursday, alleging that petrol companies have reduced supply and warned that petrol pumps may begin shutting down within the next few days if supply is not restored. Speaking at a press conference at the Press Club, the association's Central Secretary General said the situation had become alarming due to declining fuel deliveries. Diesel supply has dropped to just 20%, he said, adding that petrol supplies had also been significantly reduced. Reminder, petrol is like our unleaded gasoline. He also claimed that fuel prices were rising sharply due to the disruption, with diesel prices increasing. The Central Punjab president said that the petrol supply has also been reduced by 50%. He alleged that some private companies had begun hoarding petroleum products. Our demand is that supply should be provided according to our requirements, Lahore President Malik said, adding oil marketing companies have stopped supply. He also criticized government inspections focusing on petrol stations rather than supply depots. He said dealers do not want the public to suffer due to fuel shortages. We do not want a shortage that creates difficulties for the public, he said. Referring to the regional situation, he added that due to the war, the situation has deteriorated and requested that stakeholders be taken into confidence. If the government does not restore supply, the pumps will start shutting down from Monday, he said, adding that companies have stopped the supply of petroleum products to push for an increase in prices. A day earlier, the All Pakistan Petrol Pump Owners Association, try saying that 5 times in a row, addressed a letter to the Prime Minister raising concerns over a potential petroleum shortage as delays in fuel supply occur. According to the letter, oil marketing companies have reportedly implemented a quota system amid the ongoing Middle East crisis. Quote, they are either not providing the public or have limited it to such an extent that we hardly fulfill the need of the public, or fuel stations get dry, they warned. They urged the government to intervene immediately and ensure that oil companies consult with stakeholders before imposing any restrictions. The association also called for urgent measures to improve the supply of petroleum products and prevent disruption to consumers. The Oil and Gas Regulatory Authority has said that they have high stocks of oil to meet 28 days of consumption requirements of the country following preemptive measures to import surplus fuel. Owing to the U.S.-Israel attack on Iran, however, 2 cargoes of crude oil have been stuck after the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. This channel is 21 miles wide, and a fifth of the world's oil passes through it. The Strait of Hormuz was used to ship an average of 20 million barrels of crude per day last year. OPEC members like Saudi, Iran, the UAE, Kuwait, and Iraq depend on this shipping lane to export most of their crude, mainly to Asia. If you still didn't think this was about China, you're wrong. We have ample stocks of petrol and diesel to meet the country's requirement, officials said, adding the country could meet fuel needs of consumers for 28 days, which seems like a long time, and yet. However, reports have emerged that the government has planned to import oil through the Red Sea from Saudi Arabia, so we're going to be watching that too. And the UAE, due to the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, while also shifting to a weekly oil price review mechanism. This is very long. I'm just going to keep going. Sources told the Express Tribune that the government is currently working on various measures to ensure uninterrupted oil supply. Pakistan imports around 1 million barrels of oil on a monthly basis, with Saudi Arabia being a key oil exporter to the country. The UAE also exports oil to Pakistan. Sources said that the UAE-based firm ADNOC and Saudi Aramco will supply oil to Pakistan by bypassing the Strait of Hormuz. One refinery has also already imported a few shipments through the Red Sea. A couple of oil vessels have reached Pakistan while others are en route. And I am going to stop there, I think. Maybe I'll make a secondary video on the rest of this. No, I'm going to keep going. Finance Minister unveils fuel conservation plan. The Finance Minister on Wednesday formally announced to introduce energy conservation measures to deal with disruption in import of fuels as the government considers closing higher ed institutions and weekly setting fuel prices to deal with the evolving situation. They're going to get cut off. It's going to be bad. However, the finance minister said that the country has sufficient stocks of fuels for this month, in addition to 10 days equal crude oil reserves, emphasizing there was no cause for immediate concern. They're lying. The minister further added that Pakistan has 28 days equal stocks of petrol and diesel and 10 days of crude oil. There are also LPG stocks equal to 15 days of the country's requirements, and we are closely monitoring the situation. Yeah, LNG cargoes have stuck up from Qatar, and the government was closely monitoring the situation. According to a handout issued by the Finance Ministry, the Petrol Committee members reviewed energy conservation measures as part of a broader contingency planning aimed at managing demand efficiently while maintaining orderly market conditions. Committee emphasized that while supply conditions remain stable, prudent energy use and conservation at all levels would help strengthen national preparedness, and should international uncertainties persist, said the Finance Ministry. 14 LNG tankers have shown signs of slowing down, U-turning or stopping in or around the strait, said Laura Page from consultancy Kepler, who added that the number of will likely rise, posing risks to Qatari LNG exports. And just a reminder, the Qataris are like 20% of the supply of LNG. And I heard a rumor about that, and maybe I'll address it later.